Okay, so today I went to three agencies, House Network, because that's where I am used to and had a good experience getting my current apartment and previous apartments with. And then the two agencies that are like on campus, well, not on campus, but like near campus, which is GJ Homes and Flat Agency. Flat Agency is relatively new on campus, but I learned a lot today about the process that goes on when we are looking for houses. So first I went to GJ Homes, which I've never used before, but there I was like talking to the rep and he was like explaining a lot of things to me because he was very kind. And like apparently, so one of the reasons why like it's it seems so limited, like the apartments I'm looking for, they should exist, right? Like I know I'm really specific with what I want, but we're like in Kyoto. Like washitsu in high quality rooms exist. Like maybe they're in decline, but they're around. And so it's like kind of strange that I can only get like two places at a time like introduced to me. Like they can only seem to find like two places like each agency a day, which is weird being smack dab in the middle of Kyoto. And it turns out, so he was explaining to me, he was like, so the issue is like there are a lot of conditions that the companies, the management companies over these properties have for prospective tenants. So for instance, they're like, we have these rooms, right? Like you say you want this room and we have all of these like in our archives that are options, but the problem is we can't like show them to you because first we have to check with like the management company to make sure that they're okay with us introducing this property to you. So basically they over here, the like management companies who are in charge of the properties themselves, like they're the ones who get to decide like who gets to live where. They have a lot of conditions you have to meet in order like to be allowed for you to like get to see this property, right? And so a lot of that's where like, you know, you've heard people are like, oh, foreigners aren't allowed to live in a lot of places. That's where this comes into play. So like when you're there at the realtor's office and they're talking to the like management company for the property you're interested in, they literally ask them like, oh, the person who wants to see this property is foreign. This person is a international student at this university. This person is an American who has this job. Like, is it okay for us to introduce the property to them? And on the phone, they're either like, oh, like, no, we don't want, you know, that kind of tenant, so don't show it to them. Or, yes, go ahead, that's fine with us. Like, that's what's happening on the phone. Like, when you go into the realtor's office and you sit down and they're, like, looking for the properties for you, like, they're calling up these companies and asking them whether it's okay for them to show you, like, the information for the property you asked about. Like, it's wild. So I didn't know, like I knew that was a thing, but that's because like I speak Japanese. And so like in the past when I'd go in, I'd like overhear their phone conversations and they'd be like, 外国人の方ですけど、よろしいでしょうか? Like, 大丈夫でしょうか? And like, they speak real quiet when they know that you speak Japanese because like, obviously it's offensive. Like the fact that they have to ask, like confirm whether it's okay for them to like, and for you to be an option, like a prospective tenant just because, you know, you're not Japanese. Like they know it's offensive, but like this is the rule. This is Japan. You know, we're living many centuries behind the times and there's nothing you can do about it. So, yeah, I just sort of had like picked it up from like being able to understand, but no one's ever like told me about it, probably because it's embarrassing. Like they have to explain to you, oh, I'm sorry, like this person said no because you're foreign. So yeah, there's a lot of things that go through. So some people, obviously there's some management companies that aren't okay hiring foreigners. There are some management companies that are okay hiring foreigners as long as you speak proficient Japanese. So they need to know your Japanese level as well when you're applying. Like on the sheet sometimes they ask like, what's your level of Japanese? I had to fill that out today. They say like beginner, nichijou kaiwa, like everyday conversation, or like ryujo, like fluent. And the reason they need to know is because the management company might ask, and so they need that information. Another thing they said is some management companies will deny you based on your nationality. So, yeah, you think you jump through like the clear just because they accept foreigners for some places? No, you could be the wrong type of foreigner and then be instantly denied. So, like the guy today, he was saying like, so sometimes like a place will be like, oh, we accept foreigners, but not from Tonan Asia. Like, you can't be the Southeast Asian kind of foreigner, because then it's a no. Like, and he's like, sometimes they'll be like, oh, 中国人の方が大丈夫ですけど、モンゴルはダメ. Like, what? Like, literally, these were the examples he gave me. Like, so like, it's okay if you're like, we accept Chinese foreigners, but not the Mongolian foreigners. Like, and he was like, it's because like, you know, sometime in the past, it's just like you've heard, we've all heard the rumors, like in the past, there was one foreigner who messed up, like in whatever apartment, like they caused trouble, they threw parties, they were too loud, they didn't pay rent on time, whatever, like caused this one owner some sort of trauma in the like, you know, lending process. And then from that moment forward, all foreigners are banned from ever staying in this property ever again. Like, that's real life. That's what's happening. And so he was like, yeah, sometimes they don't allow like Indo-ke, like the Indian foreigners, we don't want those, but any other foreigners are okay. Like, this is real. And that's what he was telling me. And I was just shook. Like, he was like, yeah, it's bad, but like, there's nothing we can do. And so he was like, basically, we're not allowed to like show you certain properties until after we call them and confirm that it's okay to like introduce it to you. So for instance, at GJ Homes, when I went in today, so that's the guy who explained this to me, we went in and he looked initially on the computer and found like one property for me and like, you know, gave me the paper. And while I was looking at that, he and like a whole team, apparently when you go in and like, I don't know if it's just because I'm like a ryugakse, like a foreigner, or if they do this for all their clients, but like, so I go in and there's like one person who's tending to you, but like while they're looking for apartments, there's like a bunch of staff in the back who are also looking for apartments like at the same time, like for me. So it seems like they have like a team, a team going on it, because he'd be looking on the computer and then in the back, like some guy would come back with a sheet that he printed out from the printer and be like, oh, here, this one's the washitsu, this one's this much. And then some other guy would come over a couple minutes later with a new paper and be like, here's another one. And then he'd give them to me. And I'm like, oh, so we're all working together for the greater good of my future. Thank you. I had no idea. I always thought it was just like the one rep who's tended to you is the one who's like, you know, in charge of helping you. But like there's secretly 4 other people in the back helping him. So, it could just be because I'm foreign, like, you know, it's really hard to tell when things are happening because, like, you know, I'm not Japanese, or if just this is, like, the way Japanese people do things, the companies run. So I'll never know the answer to that, at least not for now. So a lot of people were looking for the kind of apartment I had told him I was looking for, and they were bringing more papers and stuff. But the thing is, like, all these people, so they'd have to call first, like, he'd find an apartment, and then they'd call and be like, oh, gaikouchi no kata desu kedo yoroshii desho ka? And then they'd be like, yes or no, and then after that, they would be able to print the, like, little sheet, like, the document that has the layout and all the information on it, and then give it to me, so the introduction, like, could be completed after the management company was like, yes, you're allowed to, like, tell, like, give this foreigner our information or whatever. So that's what's going on behind the scenes. That's why, like, one of the reasons why the properties don't all come out, like, in the initial search when you sit down, he doesn't just give them to you all at once. Like, the ones that are confirmed for being okay for you, like, your specific situation, like, they can give you that. But then as time goes on, they're calling more companies, getting the confirmation that it's okay for you to be a prospective tenant. So they roll in like that. So, yeah, that was really crazy for me to hear, like, just explicitly. I was like, wow, that's really what's going on. That's wild. So, yeah, those are the things they're like judging you on. Not the real estate agency, but the management companies. And then yesterday, so when he was calling like at Koutani Homes, and even I think at like the Seikyo, like the co-op, when they were calling before, I could hear when they're on the phone. So now I know it was they were talking to the management companies or whoever is the landlords, the owners of the properties. Like, one thing I heard them say a lot was like, oh, they're Kyodaise. So like, I'm a student at Kyoto University, and like, she's Igakubu. Like, they would put that in after saying that I'm a Ryugakse, like, oh, I'm foreign, but she goes to Kyoto University and is like a medical student, you know, and is in the Department of Medicine. Like, they would throw that in, and I think it's because like those are really big like points in my favor, like, of reassurance for the management company, like, oh yeah, this person's foreign, but they're like of high caliber, like, so we can trust them. So maybe even some companies that would be iffy on foreigners, like knowing that I'm a Kyodaise, which is basically, according to Japanese people, like, it's the same as like going to Harvard. Like, you're a very, very high quality human, like, student. And then being an Igakubu, so the Department of Medicine, just like is the cherry on top of that. It's like, this is like the top tier of foreigner. Not just foreigner, like the top tier of like person. So you can trust that they're going to like be a good tenant type thing. So today I didn't write on my papers that I was like Igakubu, so they weren't saying that on the phone, but at Koutani Homes he had all my information, so he would always say that when he was on the phone. And so it seems that, you know, they're judging you on a lot of character. You can't even call it character. It's just like facts, facts about you, characteristics. So, yeah, which university you go to, and I guess what you're studying also can affect that. So, yeah, I guess I get extra points for being like top tier student. So we'll see what I end up getting in the end, what kind of apartment I can secure. But yeah, that was real crazy information today. So I guess if you come in and you're normal, chances of finding an apartment will be extra hard for you, because it's already hard being like, you know, going to the top university, one of the top universities in the country, the top university in the region, and being foreign and finding what you want. So good luck with that, y'all. If y'all gonna come basic, you will struggle. I'm just kidding. I don't know, but that's what it feels like. So anyways, that's all for the discrimination part. Now, just a summary of what I did today. So at DJ Homes, they found me 3 places, I think. 2, yeah. Oh, it's only 2. Once again, we've got issues. And one place was really nice, but, yeah, I didn't see any apartments today, any places, because all the places that they found at GJ Homes and Flat Agency, the tenants aren't leaving until the end of this month, the end of February. And so there's people living there, so I can't go see it. And it seems like one of the things that happens with moving is like you have to act so fast because the apartments like get taken up. And especially because I'm living here next to the university, like a lot of people are students, and so there's like certain periods where you can like project that people are going to be leaving, rooms are going to be opening, and rooms are going to be getting taken really quickly. And that's around this time. So right now, February is the time where I'm supposed to have the most pick of rooms, like the best pick of rooms, because the entrance exam for Kyoto University is happening now, and the students are going to get their results next month. So once it becomes March, like, rooms just like disappear like crazy because the new students are coming in and getting rooms like as quickly as possible because they're going to start next month. So right now I'm early and it's like still really difficult to find a room. So this period is particularly difficult because even if I find something, which I'm most likely to find something now because people are moving out and the new entrance students haven't yet decided to move in. Like, this is the period with most availability. It's hard because people aren't leaving until March, so I can't see the room, and it's like kind of crazy to like sign a lease for a room without even seeing it. Like, yeah, we've got the pictures online, but they're not always great. So that's a situation I'm dealing with. The room that I liked the most, he was able to show me pictures online of the room next door. So he was like, they should be the same, but like, there's no guarantee. This is Japan. Like, it's really, some aspects of living here are like the wild, wild west. Like, signing a 2-year lease for a room you've never seen is something you shouldn't do. I mean, people be doing it. He was telling me, he was like, this room will probably be taken, like, because people will sign the leases without needing to see the room. So he's like, you need to act fast. But no, the answer is no for me. I'm not doing that. Anyways, the room I really liked, the tenant, they're not moving out till March 25th. So for this one, I wouldn't get to move in until April 1st, which is unfortunate. I really like that place. Second place that was sort of interesting, but like had a fatal flaw, is like this one. It's like all tatami, but the bathroom is not fine. I will not fit in this bathtub. This is the small type of old bathtub. Like, even the like real estate agent I was talking to, this is like a normal Japanese man. He's like, yeah, I wouldn't fit in there. And I'm like, this show, right? You expect me, this tall, like, American woman, to fit inside? I don't think so. So, yeah, this one's a no, just because the like appliances. Look at the kitchen, y'all. This is that. No, I'm not going down in quality. That like water heater is stuck to the wall. No, we're not doing that. So the second one was a no, but the first one would have been nice to be able to see. If it was available, I would have asked to go see it today, but it wasn't. So I like it a lot. The rent is $79,000. And the only thing that I don't like about it is that it's on the second out of 3 floors. And I don't think it's a corner room. But the room is gorgeous. Like, he showed me, like I said, the room next door. And it's the kind where the tatami room, like, is in the middle of a wide open space, like in the floor. And the shoji, or maybe it's fusuma, the fusuma will, like, enclose the room, but it, like, juts out into the space. So it's a really interesting, like, design. And maybe to some people that's, like, not great, but I think it looks beautiful. So it's a great room. But the only thing that's not perfect about it, aside from the fact I wouldn't be able to see it, is that it's not on the top floor or the corner. Also, the bicycle parking is like a little, like, not great. It's not inside. It's just got a small roof. And it's a little bit old. It was built in the 90s, but it's made out of the reinforced concrete, so it shouldn't be too terrible. Oh, there's also no shoe closet. My current shoe closet is like one of the best things about my apartment. It's literally almost like as tall as the ceiling. I can fit all my shoes, even my roller skates. So it's gonna be hard leaving that, but yeah, so that was the best thing I found today. At Flat Agency, they didn't find anything for me that was reasonable, that I liked, so that's not going to work. So the guy at GJ Home said he will look over the next few days and try to find some more stuff that fits what I want, and he's going to email me. So I'm looking forward to that, since he found the place that was closest to what I want today. At Flat Agency, they found me, like, houses. He was saying it seems more likely to fit what I want. I'd have to get, like, a house, which is cool. Like, one of the places he found me was a Kyomachiya, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it. But I don't know if I'd actually want to live in a Japanese house because I don't know how to deal with the bugs. So we're gonna hold off on that. But yeah, he found me 2 houses that they're willing to rent to foreigners. Bless them. How magnanimous, gracious of them. But yeah, they're beautiful homes. It's just they're old Japanese homes, so I'm kind of feeling iffy about that. So the most reasonable one right now is GJ Homes. They're gonna email me, looking forward to it. Last, I went to Home Network looking for Tsujima-san, but he was on break today. So they're going to send him my request, and he's going to look at my stuff tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be hearing from him back soon as well. And so we're off to the races. This is what's going on. I hope I can find something in the next couple weeks so that I can move soon. But yep, that's all. It's rough. I will post another update when I get one. All right. I think that's all for now. Mata ne. Bye.